Well, hello everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? We'll give it a few minutes for folks to jump on here before I start yakking about some things that I wanted to yak about tonight. And please forgive me. This is totally unscripted and had no plans to do this tonight, but I don't have much going on this evening, so I decided I just wanted to get on here and just have a conversation. So I'm probably going to be smoking in this video, so for those that I offend, I'm sorry. But I'm just waiting for a few folks to come on. Normally I would have some music playing before I came on, but every time I do that, Facebook gives me a notification saying that I can't use their music or whatever. It's a copyright. Good evening, April. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well tonight. I'll start after I finish this. Good evening, Darren. Welcome. You doing all right tonight, buddy? April, you've been posting some good stuff on Facebook. We really appreciate the work you've been doing. Thank you so much. April has been fighting the fine fight in Alamance County against the school system, so got to give her mad props for that. It'd be nice if some other parents would get behind her and do the same thing. What's up, Darren? Alright, just waiting for a few. Like I said, I'll start after I smoke this. It's just going to be a little chit-chat between now and then. April, did you want to come on camera tonight or no? So for those who may be tuning in now, if you want to come on camera tonight with me, I would be more than happy to have you come on. If you don't want to have your face on camera, then if you don't want to have your face on camera, then you can just turn the phone and have it pointed elsewhere. So April does want to come on, so let's bring her on. All right, April, you there? There you are.
Hi, I'm here.
Good evening, April. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good. Are you pretty good with keeping up with the chat? Because I have a hard time keeping up with it when I'm on camera and talking.
Yeah, I think I can do that. When I done the drag show stuff, I was pretty good at it, so.
All right. Fran is saying that she wants to be brought on. Fran, just a second, because Facebook hasn't given me the notification to bring you on camera yet. It takes a few minutes or so for that to happen. But so April, tell us about the fine fight and what you would like to have seen done in Alamance County, and actually in every other county across the United States. Let's go and get your thoughts on that real quick.
Honestly, I mean, we really need a parent revolution in Alamance County. It's gone crazy. I mean, our school board has gone nuts. Everything's gone nuts.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start. It's just so much. I mean, it's so much. I've been fighting the nasty books in the school. Trying to keep the drag queens away from our kids. Not been very successful with that, unfortunately.
It just really trips me out. Not just here in Alamance County, but it really trips me out that there are parents out there that just think it's okay for kids to see drag shows. I don't get that.
No, it blew my mind. I mean, that day in Burlington when they done it. I mean, it literally 3-year-olds out there with those drag queens like grinding their butt in the children's faces. It was utterly disgusting. But they told me that they had not broken the statute, which is bullshit. It's complete bullshit.
Yeah. I find it abhorrent. I find it evil,
Yep.
and I don't understand why people allow that to happen.
We
I
have
really
laws
don't.
out there to protect our children, and they're not being enforced.
That is true. That is true. And after this week, I hope more people will start paying attention to what is happening to our children.
Yep. And
Not just,
actually, December 1st, the statute 10, oh gosh, what's the darn statute? I don't know it right offhand right this second, but it was upgraded to now it's a felony, a bigger felony. Um, for like the example of the drag show situation, it's a bigger felony now for them to do that as of December 1st. But the
oh,
law's
wow.
got to be enforced for them to even be able to be charged with it. So,
Wow. Wow. Well, I appreciate you coming on here tonight. I put in a post that I really wanted to come out here and do something tonight. I didn't have much going on, but I kind of didn't want to do it by myself. I just wanted to have a conversation with folks. I'm glad you've joined us. And anytime you want to jump off or say, "Hey, Jimmy, I'm done," I can take you off camera and everything. But I
okay.
really appreciate you being
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
A
you're
couple of
welcome.
things I just wanted to mention before I start this evening. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Martha. Thanks for joining in. Like I said, if you do come on tonight's show and you want to be on camera, let me know. And as soon as the little notification says bring them on camera, I will bring you on. So, but I want to start off with this. There's several new people to my Facebook page, and I just want folks to know that are looking at my Facebook page that I put information out because I want people to start thinking. I want people to start asking questions. And, a lot of people have been doing that over the last 4 years, but I
Mhm.
do see an increase in people asking
Yeah.
questions, which I think is a good thing. What do you think, April?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. They better be asking questions.
Have you had people that thought you were a crazy conspiracy theorist back in 2020? Have you had those same people coming to you now and asking you questions about things?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think that's happening a lot because I talked to one of my other friends tonight. Y'all know her, Laurel Gonis, one of my co-hosts on The Big Picture. She says she spent a lot of time today answering questions for folks. She says she was on the phone with somebody for 2 hours today.
Hmm.
And hey, Tanya, welcome to the show tonight. So it's good that people are asking questions because I think one of the things that's happening is the deep state's actions are so overt now and it's
Hmm.
so out in the open that it's hard not to see what's going on.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got to be blind as hell if you don't see it now because they're putting it right in front of our
Yeah.
face.
And unfortunately, though, there's a lot of people out there that still have their head buried in the sand.
Yep. Yep.
And and that's why I have posted a couple of times already this year that there's going to be more slaps in the face in 2024. It's going to get a lot crazier.
Hmm.
And this first week has been insane. And so I'm going to mention some things about that. If this video is good enough and we get, some excellent responses and it's a good conversation, I might end up taking this and put it on my YouTube channel later on, if that's okay with
That's
you, April, for
fine
those
with
that
me.
come on camera.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
So, all right. So I guess I'll just start with this with you. Hey, Kimberly, welcome. Glad to have you this evening. Way too many. They need to wake up. Yep, you're right, Danielle. People do need to wake up. So, all right. So first thing I want to say is, do you know Cat Williams, April?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
He apparently did an interview with Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay. That's the name of Shannon Sharp's show. And I had it sent to me, and I hadn't watched it, but yet, the whole thing. I'll get to that. But I started seeing a bunch of memes, and I saw a meme that said Cat Williams didn't kill himself. And I'm like, oh, Lord, I really got to watch this interview. Well, I started watching it this evening, and it's 2 hours and 46 minutes long.
Wow.
I'm 45 minutes into it, and I have been blown away. So the reason why, for my XJW friends, those folks that were associated with Watchtower, did y'all know that Cat Williams was raised in the Jehovah's Witness organization?
Oh my, I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Myself.
that. I didn't know that either. Did you know that Cat Williams, at 3 years old, was a fluent reader? Not just in little baby books or anything like that, but a fluent reader. And he said one of his first, how'd he put it? One of his first but appearance or whatever. What he described was him being at a Jehovah's Witness circuit assembly or district convention. I don't know which one it was, or hell, it could have been just in a Kingdom Hall, but he said 10,000 people, so I'm thinking circuit assembly.
Yeah.
That he talked then when he was like young. And so the story continues about some stuff that he had go on with his dad and how he left home at 13. And he started doing that about the 30-minute mark. And I'm just blown away. I'm very excited after we do this tonight to finish watching that episode, because he's dropping the bombs on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tripping off this. So, but let me ask you this, April. So far, first week of January, what has surprised you the most, or what do you think is the biggest story in your world? What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you something that's the funniest. I don't know if y'all been seeing the thing about Miami, the Miami Mall, the alien.
Let's talk about that.
I'm sorry, but that just cracks me up.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I think I saw it over on Telegram, and I saw all the police cars, or the video of all the police cars going to the Miami Mall. And I was like, okay, what's going on there? I even posted it because I didn't know what was going on. Later on, someone had reported that there was a shooting there. And so I edited my post to say that there was a shooting. And as the next 2 days went, you started hearing stuff about these creatures. Now, when I first heard it, I was like, you got to be kidding me. But then they started talking about it more. And I was like, okay, yeah, something's not making sense, because first, why do you have such a massive police presence for kids with sticks and fireworks?
Exactly.
Okay. Something was wrong with that. And then I started thinking, okay, is this what we have been telling people to watch out for? Is the Project Bluebeam?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
That's what I think.
I'm starting to think that now too. And I think that this whole thing was just a production to create a distraction from the Epstein list, or the Epstein files. I'm gonna call it the files.
Yeah.
Since that came out. So I think it's best to let folks know that when you start hearing about aliens and creatures and all this, go educate yourself on what Project Bluebeam is.
Yep.
There's plenty of videos out there that talk about it. There's a lot of information out there. And folks, remember, that's what I try to get you guys to do. I'd like to have the time, but I don't have the time to spoon feed people information.
Yeah, and I don't know about other people, but I learn better by you telling me to go research it myself and read about it. I just learn better that way.
Yeah. And it gives you the chance that if you're, looking at this stuff and you have questions, you're able to bounce over here to this information, then bounce over here. Next thing you know, you're down a damn rabbit hole.
It don't take long to get down it.
No, it doesn't. So I want folks to know that I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I share my experience. I share what I think I know. I share what I believe. And I want you guys to go look up this information. And if you find something that contradicts what I'm saying, please bring it to me.
Yep. I'm the same way.
You know, how many times during CV season, we'll just call it CV season, did I have to go to somebody and say, hey, bring me the information that says that the face diaper works? You bring me the peer-reviewed information. Bring it.
Mm-hmm.
And they never could.
Nope. Not at
So
all.
I am open to being wrong.
Yep.
That's how you
That's
learn. Wouldn't you agree, April?
exactly right. Constructive criticism.
Yeah. Yeah, because anybody, for those that have been new to my YouTube channel or my Facebook page, all I'm trying to do is help. I just want to help folks have the right information. And I've said it before on videos, the reason why I do what I do is because I woke up from a cult that I was in unknowingly for 40 years. And so I kind of have an idea on how cults and people that want to push propaganda, how they work.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were never in a cult, you don't know what signs to look for.
Right.
So I try to help with that.
Yep.
So, all right. So let's talk about, first off, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
What have did you know about those before, April?
Yeah.
Okay, you've known about them since when?
Oh gosh. A long time ago. Long before any of this, all this happened.
Right. Okay.
So
I knew back in 2020 when I first started going down the rabbit holes of everything. And I just want to make a brief comment about a certain letter in the alphabet. I'm not going to go into a detail on that tonight because I think it requires its separate video. But for the folks that have been following Q, what we're experiencing is it's like we read the book before the movie came
movie
out.
came out. Yep.
I saw somebody had said that over on X today, and I was like, this is perfect. I have
Yep.
got to put this on my Facebook page because that is I believe that. I believe that
Mm-hmm.
because for folks that have been following me, I've had people ask me, well, Jimmy, how did you know that? Or how did you see that coming? Or what? I'm like,
Yep.
I read the book.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So
We
but
found it first.
I won't talk about that, but yes, I knew about the Epstein stuff back in 2020. Now, John and I, we're going to do an episode on child trafficking on the next big picture, but what people need to realize is that Epstein is just another small fish in this big pond.
That's
There
right.
were other players that had their own islands that did the same thing.
Yep.
Do you know about Nygaard, April? Okay.
No.
Okay. Folks, look up Peter Nygaard. Nygaard. Go
I'll
look
look that one.
him up. And also go look up not Son of God, the guy that hung around Oprah. John the God. I think it's his name. I think that's what he went by. John the God.
Mm-hmm.
Look him up and the connections that he had. He was tied to Oprah.
Mm.
And so, yes, Martha, I definitely want to touch in on that. Okay, so Martha just said they tried to frame Trump as a friend of Epstein in his 2016 run. I want to touch on that and set the record straight on this because I have done the research.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen the documents, and it's fact out there that Donald Trump, yes, in the beginning, he had some association with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, did he initiate that association? I don't know. Did Epstein initiate that association? I don't know. But if we look at what Epstein was doing, he was going around and luring these bigwigs into his little web.
Yep.
Okay. So how do we know that Epstein wasn't trying to do that to Trump? All right. Now, it's also noted and documented that Trump threw Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago when Trump found out some, let's see, what's the best word? Basically, this dude was hitting on a 14-year-old, one of the daughters, I think one of the servers or something like that.
Yeah.
So Trump kicked him out. And it's also documented by the FBI agent that worked on the Trump information that Trump was the only person in Hollywood at the time that would help the FBI agent and turn over information on Jeffrey Epstein.
Yep.
So, let's see, where else? Oh, and with the release of the documents over the last 2-3 days, there is proof Trump never visited Epstein Island and never went to any of his homes.
That's right. It's in black and white, and it's court documents.
Yep. Yep. And Marcus, you're right. He did get a ride to New Jersey on the plane one time. That was while they were, I think, buddy. Not, I wouldn't say buddy, but they were around each other. Okay. Yeah. That.
Acquaintances.
Yeah, but it was never to the island, never to any of his homes. Now, what have we seen the media do in the last 2 to 3 days when it comes to Trump and the Epstein Island? Instead of them going and researching why certain things were happening there, why aren't they talking about Clinton? Why aren't they talking about others? Bill Gates, Stephen Hawking. Why aren't they talking about that? No, they want to put a headline out that says Trump and Clinton named in the Epstein documents.
Yeah.
And they have no context. Now, why does the media do that? The media does that because they know most American folks have a short attention span. So all they do is read the headlines.
Yep.
So if you're a normie, sorry, but if you're a normie and you read that headline and you're out conversing with somebody and a day later at work, you'll say, oh, yeah, I saw it in the news that Trump was mentioned in those documents.
Exactly. Just by a headline instead of reading into it.
Yep. So we'll set the record straight on. Oh, plus, I've been fighting one of my liberal friends, April, for about 4 years. Not really fighting, but go back and forth and everything. I sent him the information that I found in the documents exonerating Trump. I sent those to him. He hasn't responded.
Because he can't stand the truth.
And normally he has an answer for everything I post, but this time he did not have an answer for anything that I posted there.
And I tell you something else that's a trip too is about Prince Andrew and what's going on now with King Charles and all that.
Now, I have heard, and folks, a lot of the stuff that I mentioned, I don't have evidence for yet, okay? But one of the things that I've been going on the last 4 years is my intuition. My intuition has been pretty good. Even John will say, damn, Jimmy, yeah, you were 6 months ahead of me on that.
Yep.
All right, so my intuition's it's got a good track record. All right, but I did hear that there's a possibility that King Charles will be abdicating the throne.
Yeah, he had a meeting the other day with William and Kate.
Oh, really?
to give up his reign. Yeah, he's given it up. He's already said he's giving it up.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
watched it on BBC News. Yeah.
Did you really?
I did.
So,
Hmm.
okay. So for the viewers, tell them where they can find that video.
It's BBC News on YouTube. I mean, I can post a link to my page.
Okay. Yeah.
I can do that.
Tell folks what your last name is.
Campbell,
April. Okay.
like
April Campbell.
Campbell soup.
Marcus, I'll get into that here in a little bit, buddy. Okay. I didn't hear that yet,
Yeah,
but
that is absolutely about. And there's also pictures of Queen Elizabeth on Epstein Island.
yes, there is.
So the royal family is just not so very royal.
No. I'm gonna scroll
Which
through
we
it.
all knew that. Most,
Yeah,
well, some of us, but
the royal family is deep into all this stuff,
that's right.
and I mean it's so deep people wouldn't even. I read an article tonight that talked about what William and Harry had to deal with when they were growing up, and so I won't get into that. And so, but yeah, there's a lot of crazy crap going on with the royals. What were we talking? Oh, just talking about the Queen being on Epstein Island. So, okay. So as far as what I see happening now is we knew about the Epstein stuff back in 2020. We've had time to dig and, be able to absorb the information.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of you folks are hearing it for the first time. And this is the time where you need to start asking questions about this. What are the links? Who's tied to who? Because a certain letter in the alphabet said one leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another.
Yep.
And I know people out there, especially the ones that are awake, we're just like, when is this going to be over? When are these people going to be held accountable? And that is a legit question because I've had that. But I've come to understand that there is a bigger operation going on. And one of the biggest things is the main objective is to awaken the people, not just the American people, but the people worldwide, because
Exactly.
this is a worldwide operation.
Mm-hmm.
And you just can't. I mean, if I was going to try to wake you up, think about this. If you have your loving spouse laying in bed and they need to wake up, April, how would you wake up somebody just from sleep? Let me ask that.
Just nudge them, wake up.
Nudge them, okay.
Yeah.
And let's say you do that 2 or 3 times, then what happens?
They get
And they don't wake.
pissed off.
Who gets pissed off? They get pissed off?
Yeah, so they get pissed off.
Yeah,
You said what happens if you do it 2 or 3 times?
yeah. Let's say if you try to nudge them 2 or 3 times and they're still asleep, what do you do then?
It's not much you really can do.
Okay, this is where I was going with this.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll always have an angle of where I'm going with something. Okay. After you try to nudge them, wake them up, they don't wake up. You end up nudging them a little harder. And then you end up nudging them a little harder to the point where you might shake them a little bit. And then if they're still asleep, you're going to go get some water and throw it on them. All right? That's the same way with waking people up.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I can't wake people up. Okay? I can just give information designed to do that. So instead of dropping all the information on the people at one time, as in throwing the water on them,
Right.
we got to nudge them.
Yep.
They've got to be able to digest this information that's being put out there.
Yeah, because it would literally put people in shock.
Yes. Actually, the number 17 has said that if all the information was dropped on the population, 98% of the population would need hospitalization.
Mm-hmm.
So, for those that are awake to what's going on, congratulations, kudos, hold the line.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we say that,
That's
because
right.
we're trying to get information out to these other folks. And the other thing is since there is a worldwide military operation going on overtly,
Mm-hmm.
how do how do you conduct this battle in public view? That's where the people come into play.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to get the people involved too.
Yep.
So I know people want to see arrest. I know they want to see people, you know, being,
Hanging.
well, that too. Um, but their time is coming, because once enough people start to say, hey, all this is bullcrap, this needs to change, that's when it will change, is when enough people have had enough.
Right. I wish so bad we could do what Germany's doing right now with all the tractors, the farmers. They
Yeah.
have they got the whole entire country. The roads are blocked, everything with tractors. They
Yeah.
have taken over.
Yeah, they sure have. And I don't think a lot of Americans pay attention to what's going on in other countries around the world, but other countries, we the people, are fighting back.
Mm-hmm. And like Martha just said, too many people deliberately choose to ignore the truth, and they do.
Right. Well, that's because they suffer from cognitive dissonance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've been told one thing for so long that any other comment on that thing or any other belief they just don't accept. And I can say that because, hello, I was in a cult.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have told me 10 years ago, Jimmy, you're in a cult with the Jehovah's Witnesses and they're this and that, I'd be like, nuh-uh. They
Yeah.
could have shown me proof. And I'd be like, yeah, that's made up. That's apostate lies.
Yep.
You know? And so that's what they're hoping, the media, the deep state, everybody, that's what they're hoping people will do. Will just be like, dismiss what's being said out here in public forums that goes against their narrative.
I really don't think they ever expected as many Americans that has really researched as we have. I don't think they expected that. I think they were going to get more manipulate. They were going to get us be able to manipulate us more than they thought.
Yeah. Oh, they thought
Yeah,
so.
they thought that.
Yeah.
But
it completely backfired.
that's exactly right.
And that's because a lot of people noticed these patterns years ago. There were early truthers out there, you know, and how many people looked at them as being crazy and, oh, you're off your rocker.
And
And
somebody said today, now that everything is because the alien stuff wasn't supposed to happen until 2025, according to their agenda. I mean, literally, if you read the actual agenda, I mean, it wasn't supposed to start until 2025. So that right there shows you that we have caught up to them so much that they're having to bring out stuff already for distractions.
yes. If you still need me, I'm here. You know what? Let's bring Laurel on camera too.
Okay.
Let's bring her on. I love Laurel. Let's see. Marcus, you're right. People reasonably don't care about anything until you interfere with their football, food, and sex lives. And I'll go ahead and throw money in there too, Marcus. Good evening, Laurel. How are you doing, sweetheart?
Hey, you're gonna have to excuse me. I got no makeup on. I'm never on camera without
Girl,
makeup.
look
But
at
I'm
me.
doing it. I'm doing
I'm
it for
looking
you,
like
Jimmy.
this.
Well, I
It don't matter
appreciate.
what we look like. We just truthers. That's all that matters.
That's right.
Yeah, I just felt like, and see, that's the thing with me is, I don't do things just willy-nilly a lot of times. There's usually a reason why I do stuff. And something was telling me tonight, hey, Jimmy, go live. Just put information out there tonight, and maybe something we say will help somebody.
Yeah. You never know.
Well, I hope so, because that's what I've been trying to do all day today. I took the whole day off, and oh God, there's so many people that are waking
Yep.
up, and we felt so so depressed, not depressed, but there are days that you just feel so down because you work and research and send out so much stuff that we know is the truth, and we try to get it through to people, and all we get is hate and laughing at and getting blocked
Yep.
and everything else.
Yeah.
And today, I think that Epstein list coming out is finally waking people up, because I have honestly had nonstop messages that, people wanting to FaceTime with me today.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Two things I want to say real quick before we go further, because I got some more stuff I want to ask you, Laurel. One, happy anniversary, 3rd year anniversary to Beth Schmidt, Gary Harris, and Cher Andrews, who were with me at the Capitol January 6, 2021.
Well, you insurrectionists should be ashamed.
I ain't go nowhere near it.
I love y'all.
But I want to just say happy anniversary to them. That was a great day. We created a bond that will last forever. It was a wonderful day, other than what happened, but
Right.
we won't talk about that. There was one more thing I saw somebody say. Hold on a second. Okay, so sticking on the January 6th topic, yeah, guys, go look. There's videos on X, there's videos on Telegram showing the truth about J6. Okay, so anyway, I just want to say that.
Do you know what
Laura,
January 8th is?
do what?
Do you know what January 8th is?
Isn't January 8th Christmas on the Julian calendar?
No, that's the 7th. January 8th is when they took down Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So everybody got stopped until they figured out a way to get the truth out again, because Twitter and everybody started censoring us January 8th.
Yeah, the censoring, well, and it started with taking Trump's message off of Twitter 5 minutes after he posted, where he said, peacefully and patriotically, walk to the Capitol.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And there's another thing going back to the operation at hand, Laurel, talking about the Q operation. From what I understand, the president had to come out and put a statement out if there's a, quote, rise up or an insurrection taking place or whatever. I think there's somewhere legally he has to come out and tell people to stop. And I think that's one of the, I think that's one of the reasons why he came out and did that, because that's what he was supposed to do. Yeah. And I think that might be why Twitter at the time didn't want it up there, so they can say, oh, it never happened. He broke the law.
Mm-hmm.
That's
why they didn't want it. Because they've done that with everything he's said. They've either turned the story around, or they've lied, or they've cut him off, or they've edited him. That's why I hated him at first. I mean, that's why everybody did, because you watch the mainstream news and they edited everything he did and made him look like a complete idiot. I mean, they really did. Until you find out how corrupt the mainstream news is, you're never going to understand that.
Well, you know what? To kind of compare with that, like I said, I was watching the Cat Williams interview, and a lot of people were hating on Cat Williams and saying he did all these hardcore drugs, he did this, he did that. They were painting him in a very awful light. And Cat talks about this, and he talks about the reason why is because he was exposing other comedians in the industry for what they were doing. And he said that they were like a little group, and if you weren't in the little group, you were attacked or you were made to look bad.
Yeah.
So when we say that we know the playbook, that is their playbook. And that's Hollywood, That's in sports, that's in politics, and that's exactly the same thing they did with Cat Williams on a smaller scale. They took it to the big scale and have done with Trump. Now, let me preface that with everything is so freaking crazy that, one, I don't worship Trump. I think he's the right man for the job. And if something ever comes out that Trump is not who he says he is or whatever, okay, I wouldn't be surprised.
Possible.
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
Me either.
Me either. Very possible.
Yeah, it is very possible.
But the biggest thing people need to understand is not get focused on one person. It's to focus on the way these people operate.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been doing it for so long. And if we, the people, have the knowledge, we can actually fight against it. If you know the playbook of the opposing team, you know how to defend it. You know how to go on offense. And that's what 2024 is going to be. The digital soldiers are going to go on offense because we have truth, we have facts on our side.
Yep.
We always have. We always have, but nobody wanted to hear it. But now everything is coming out that. But you see, I watched the mainstream news for a little bit this morning, I think it was. And no matter what, we are going to need some kind of D-class because no matter what, they are still. I mean, I read the transcripts. Trump, it comes right out. And they asked her, "Well, did you ever see Trump on the island?" No. Did you ever see Trump at one of his mansions? Yes. Did he ever ask you for a massage? No. Did he get a massage from anybody? No. Was he sitting at the table with the rest of them? No, he came and sat with me in the kitchen. Yep. He's for the people. He wasn't with those elites. But you know what? The news is never going to say that. They're still, all they're concentrating on is he took a ride on that plane.
Correct.
That's exactly right.
Let's look at what Martha just said. Martha just said, and folks, I'm trying to keep up with the comments. It's hard because it scrolls and it's. But it says, she said, in hindsight, I think Trump needed this 4 years, as did we, to gather more information and make a plan.
I felt the same way the whole time. Like, even if we never get him again, what he's done has been amazing.
Now, I'm not going to push back on that. I just want to elaborate a little bit on that comment. Trump already had a plan.
Oh.
A long time ago. He didn't come up with this plan just within the last 4 years. And it's not just Trump.
No.
It's the military operation that's taking place. Trump is playing a role in this movie.
That's right.
He's doing his role. Okay. Now, the 4 years, yes, there was put a pause on his presidency because people will not wake up to things until they experience it themselves. So you have had to experience high gas prices, inflation, your energy bills have gone up, your grocery bills, I've already said that, your grocery bills have gone up. You've seen the open border now. You have seen a two-tier justice system now. Yep. That's what this 4 years has been about. Mm-hmm. And if you remember, Trump was saying, this is not about another 4-year election. Mm-mm. These past 4 years were designed to wake everybody up.
Yep.
He knew what he was doing. Yeah. And also, if you go back beyond before he was president, I just read a transcript today. It was brand new, saying that Trump was actually the one that turned in Epstein to the FBI in 2008.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah, 2008. That's how far it goes back. And then he did a tweet in 2012 about somebody has to do something about these perverts. So he has been involved in a long time, and there has been a plan.
Yeah.
That's right.
I do believe the plan started maybe around the time or maybe a little after the JFK assassination.
And there are absolutely two militaries.
Maybe a little bit before, I'm not sure, because I think Kennedy had a plan. He just didn't get to.
He didn't get to put it out there.
He didn't get to do it.
And
well, what woke me up was Kennedy's. I mean, I already knew from our ex-religion or cult, whatever you want to call it. I already knew about secret societies. And that is, but I had never heard Kennedy's speech. And if anybody watching has never gone to YouTube, it should still be up there, or I think it's on Rumble too, on his speech on secret societies, on how evil they were and they should not be allowed in this world. And as soon as I heard that speech, I thought, he's right. And if this is all about that, I'm in.
Yep. He was trying to warn about the Freemasonry and the Illuminati, everything.
And so I would tell folks, if you want to watch two really good speeches, let's just say this is the first time you've tuned in to anything that I've done or that we've done as a Big Picture episode, go watch the Kennedy speech on secret societies. And go watch. You can find it on Rumble, and I think you can still find it on YouTube. But type in "this speech will get Donald Trump elected." It is a speech that he did in October of 2016 before he was elected president. He was on the campaign trail and he gave this speech. It's about 5.5 minutes long, but I'm telling you, go watch it and tell me what you have seen happen since he gave that speech. And
it's an awesome speech.
And compare that to what JFK says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You do that, and you might be going to find yourself a conspiracy theorist friend.
Yep. Yep. I can guarantee that.
And another good speech, if you want to watch one, the one that was the one when he pulled out of the United Nations, and he went there and he gave a speech. I can't remember if it was, I think it was, I watched it so long ago. It was either United Nations or did he go to the WEF forum? Did he show up there to give a speech, or was it, I think it was the United Nations.
Yeah, the United Nations speech.
Yeah. And where he talked about everybody here should be looking after their own countries. And we're not against any country. We don't want war, but I want to look after my country, as you all should be looking after your own countries and your borders. But it's not just that. I mean, that speech was a wonderful speech, just showing his intelligence and the way he thinks. It's a really good speech.
Yeah. Yeah, and John, to answer that, Trump wanted out of NATO. Because he knows what NATO is all about.
Yeah.
NATO is not a very good organization at all. So, I said it. What was the other thing that was said? Martha, exposing J.E. Hoover and rehabilitating or getting rid of the FBI was an original plan. That's why they killed Bobby, too. Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to go back to what who was saying it? April was saying that the whole alien thing was slated, for 2025?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think what has happened, and Laurel, you can chime in on this one. I'm going to say this, and for a lot of folks, this might be a little uncomfortable. They're going to think, oh, Jimmy's crazy. Why does he even think that? But Operation Warp Speed, I don't think it had anything to do with I don't think it had anything to do with that.
I agree.
I think, and I'm speculating, folks, but this is what I'm trying to put some pieces together. I think Operation Warp Speed was the escalation of what the deep state was really planning to do to all of us.
Yeah.
And I think that the mission was to show the people what they really wanted to do to all of us. And if you look back from the time that that was implemented, so to speak, what has people learned since then? They have learned about depopulation. They have learned about geoengineering. They have learned about things in our food. They have learned about 15-minute cities. They have learned that there's rules for the higher ups and rules for the lower plebeians. Plebeians, yeah, that's the right word.
Yep.
So that's my opinion. I'm not going to go get into that tonight, but that's what I think Operation Warp Speed was. And I think it's going to go into full gear in 2024. And if we want to look at that, I pulled some headlines I wanted to share with y'all tonight. There is a guy, I guess it's a guy, but his name is Enoch, and he's over on Truth Social. And I don't know if he's still on Twitter or if he's still banned from Twitter. And I think he's still on Telegram as well. But he does this thing. It's called Enoch's News Blast. And he goes through and lists off different things that have happened every day. And so I just wanted to pull the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th just this week. From what we already know about the earthquake in Japan, we know about the Epstein stuff. What else has happened?
The New York, the Maui, not Maui,
thing.
Yeah, the Miami stuff with the aliens.
Yeah.
The school shooting.
Yeah, the school shooting. Yeah.
The plane that blew up that caught fire on the runway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And folks, I know this is going to sound crazy, but one way or another, all of this is connected.
Yep.
Every bit of it's connected.
We've been expecting. We've been waiting for it to happen.
Yep. And I want to tell you right now, the Iowa caucuses are in what, 9 days? So I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see something major happen that's going to clog the news cycles in the next 9 days.
Yeah, because theirs starts January 15th and ours starts February 15th.
What's that?
Iowa starts January 15th and ours here starts February 15th.
Oh, okay. All right. Laura,
so
what were you going to say?
We're not far behind.
I was gonna say about the Iowa conference, or what was the word you used?
Caucus.
Yeah, caucus. We don't use that word in Canada, I don't think. But anyways, the Iowa caucus. Apparently, I forget what podcast I was watching, but apparently with this Iowa caucus, it will really wake they'll really wake them up as to who really won the election, because of the fact that they're not going to do a debate, which Trump has refused to participate in. And what they do is they each have their own rooms, and the people choose which room they go to, whether it's going to be and it'll all be Republicans, what I've understood, and whether they're going to go with DeSantis, whether they're going, honestly, I pay more attention to Canadian politics, although I do. So, but apparently the big thing about this caucus is it's going to show everybody how they all go into the auditorium that Trump is in, and people will see that, and they don't want people to see that.
Right. Yeah. There's going to be so much stuff that happens this year around this. I mean, people are going to find out that the 2020 election, yeah, we got lied to about that.
Yep.
They're going to find out. We've already seen the evidence. Somebody just posted, Beth talked about 2,000 mules. There has been so much information that has been dropped out in 21 and 22 and 23 around this issue that if you still think Biden was truly elected and he's president, I don't know what to tell you.
Then
I really don't.
save your souls.
Yeah, I really don't know what to tell
We're
you.
all dead. The whole world we're all dead.
Yeah.
If he was really president.
Now, yeah, exactly. Now, I want people to know, too, sometimes I hold back on stuff. Sometimes I don't say stuff that comes to my mind to tell because I'm like, yeah, if I go that route, I'm going to lose people. I'm trying
locked up.
I'm trying to ease people. I'm trying to, nudge people because if I drop some of this water on folks that I believe I know already, like somebody just asked about, will Biden be evicted November 5th? Yeah, I got some comments on that, but I just want to hold that in right now.
Yep.
So, but anyway, let's go to this list right here. And all I want to do, folks, with this is I want to read to you what's happened in the last 3 days. And they're basically Enoch's, they are his headlines. So I'm telling you, if you want to know more about the headline, don't just accept the headline. Go do the research on the story that you find interesting.
Yep.
So let's start with Wednesday, January 3rd. Judge rules fentanyl overdose lawsuit against Snapchat can move forward. I didn't know about that. There's a lot of stuff in here, guys, I have no clue about. But
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Let's see. Bombardier wins U.S. Army contract for new spy plane prototype. I've never even heard of Bombardier.
I'll ask my son.
Yeah, I think
I saw. I might have seen that on Watchtowers. I'm not going to say for sure, but I might have seen it on their financials. I think they might have shares in it.
Really. Okay.
I think so.
All right, so
I'm not saying for sure, but I have financials of what they have shares in, and I know they have Lockheed Martin.
Yeah.
I think I saw that one, but I'm not saying for sure. Do your research.
Yeah, Bombardier, Bombardier. I have no clue who they are. All right, next one. Dozens more Jeffrey Epstein documents are now public. We know that. Justice Department sues Texas over law that would let police arrest migrants who enter U.S. illegally.
What?
Again, the Justice Department sues Texas over a law that will let police arrest migrants who enter U.S. illegally.
Imagine that.
Yeah, that one I heard.
I did hear that. I did hear that on the Wilkow show.
Yeah.
103 killed after explosion at the Soleimani anniversary event. For those that don't know who Soleimani is, he was the Iranian general that Trump took out. Well, Trump in the military. So they were having a anniversary event, and 103 people killed in an explosion. Multiple state, I did hear this one. Multiple state capitals evacuated due to threats, but no dangerous items immediately found.
Yeah, that was the email threats.
Yeah.
Boston and D.C. sex ring may have been a honeypot for foreign states.
Oh, we all knew that one.
Yeah.
There's a large ground beef and baby formula recall. An imam dies after being shot outside his mosque in Newark, New Jersey.
I didn't hear about that.
I didn't hear about that either. And this one, I think we all may have seen a clip of this one. Nevada Judge Mary Kay Holtis attacked during a sentencing of a man charged with attempted battery. Did y'all see that?
That guy looks like Superman.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I mean, he did. I told my wife, I said, did you see his move? I mean, wow. That was okay.
Yeah,
I don't like what he did, but that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So that was just Wednesday of this past week. And if you guys like this, maybe I can do this a little more often where I can pull the news of the week and maybe do a quick update or something. Maybe not do it the format we're doing today or whatever, but maybe I can just come on and do a news blast, and then you folks can take that information and go look it up. And so, like I said, we're in a cult here. Be careful. We might teach you we might brainwash you into thinking for yourself.
That's right.
That's right.
Anyway,
I just love it when people say we're in a cult. I just love that.
I know.
It's like my comeback is, no, you don't know what a cult is. I do. I've been in one before.
yeah, it's. I mean, a lot of people say that 17 is a cult, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I never knew who the leader was. The leader never told me what to do or what I couldn't do. Oh, the leader. I don't know, but they did tell me that I should use my critical thinking skills and do research.
Yeah.
No cult is going to tell you to go do your own research.
Right.
No. And all they've ever done is ask us questions. It's always questions, never answers. Like, I mean, certain things, but it is, why did this happen? Why did this happen? Go look, go research.
Right.
And they make you think. I've never thought so much in the last 4 years as I've thought in my whole life.
Me neither.
Yeah.
They make us use our brain.
I mean, folks, I have gone to bed at night and my brain's still running, thinking about things. I wake up in the morning and this stuff is on now, I'm not saying this is overriding my life, but it's just something that I'm passionate about.
Right.
I still go to work. I still take care. And I'm balanced. Let's put it that way. But once you realize all this stuff is going on, you look at the world in a whole different light.
You do. Yep.
I mean, it's hard for me to go into public and just sometimes keep my mouth shut.
Exactly. That's my problem.
It's really changed me. I have become a different person.
Yeah.
And I think for the better. I stick to myself more because I've got a lot of haters, right? But I don't care. I'm enjoying my own company. I'm enjoying my research. I have really special friends. I know who my friends are now. And that, the ones that drop me because they don't even want to open their minds to anything new, then what kind of conversation are you going to have with those kind of people?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's April. Have you found it very difficult to have just a normal conversation with, family and friends?
Absolutely. All the time. Every day.
I know. I was told of an experience this week where there's a lady that has a group of friends that she just has a hard time having conversations with them now because they're just talking about little piddly stuff, and not talking about real issues with substance.
Right.
And it's just difficult. It is difficult.
Well, like you posted the other day, it's like we've just got a new family now.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Let me go back here. I see a comment that just popped up from Darren. He said the new spy plane is called ATBO-2U Skyward. Military ordered 75 at $40 million a piece. Wow, 75 of them at $40 million a piece? Jesus. Okay. Well, there's a lot of money. Anyway, do y'all like this?
The list?
Yeah, do y'all like the format? I kind of like this.
I think it's cool.
All right, let's move to Thursday. Sixth grader killed in Perry, Iowa. School shooting. 5 injured. We know about that.
And it was the LGBTQ and all that crap.
Yeah, it was a trans activist. And if you notice the pattern over the last couple of school shootings, there's a pattern. Go take a notice. Go
Yeah.
They've
look what
all
that
been
pattern.
friends. They've
Yeah.
all been mentally ill. They've all been on medication for mental illness. Every bit of it.
And
And not just that. It always happens when something big is going to
Right.
come out that everybody's going to find out about. They got to do something to take your mind off of it, and they'll use somebody that's MK altered,
Yep.
and I don't know if they make a phone call, whatever they do, and I feel sorry for some of these people, and they're mentally ill.
Yep. It's
And
sad.
they're using those people to perform false flags.
yes,
Yep. It's sad.
and folks, when we tell you that we are in a war, we are talking about we are in an information war, and this is a war for your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So when information is dropped, like the Epstein files, what is the other side going to try to do? They're going to try to distract you
Right.
with their information and keep you from the real stuff that you need to be looking at.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, as soon as this stuff happened with Epstein, I made a post where I said, I wonder what the deep state's getting ready to do next.
Right.
And what did we have? We had a school shooting.
Yep.
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah.
there's many different agendas with an event. A lot of these agendas we're seeing have a lot of these things that we're seeing have multiple agendas. So like with the people crossing the border, there's multiple reasons why that's happening. These school shootings, there's other agendas to distract from the news and to push gun control. And speaking of gun control, I just did a post up today or last night that said that Ohio, who just passed constitutional carry in the state, they have seen their gun crimes go down.
Yeah.
Yep. I saw that too.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah. So they changed it and then went down. So go look that up. The Ohio constitutional carry gun crime going down.
Can
All
I,
right, let's go on.
can I just say one thing there about the gun? I just got off the phone with a Canadian friend. And of course, in Canada, we're so brainwashed to think guns are so bad, and like, you get brainwashed, right? And unless you know what they're doing to you, and which has made us so aware, our research, you don't know you're being brainwashed.
Yep.
Right.
Well, okay, so many Canadians are against guns, and I said to my friend on the phone tonight, I said, you know what? I could tell you guys a long, maybe one day I'll do it on an interview with you, but I know what was happening in Canada and why things had to happen so fast. There's a real big thing that Canada came so close to having a complete invasion by the CCP. And anyways, I said that unless the United States if they didn't have their guns, everybody in the world would probably be victims of the New World Order right now. The gun law in the States, the only place really left in the world that is free gun carry. I think Russia lets them too. Do you think Russia does? I think Russia's the same.
I don't know. I don't know.
think you're
Yeah.
right. I think you're right about
Yeah.
that with Russia.
And if America was not Canadians' neighbor and brother or sister, whatever, we've always been close, and Canada would be gone because the Americans came in and bailed us out, and people do not know what happened.
Right. Yeah. Laurel, Martha just said, isn't Canada still under British rule for all intents and purposes?
No.
Okay. They're not under British rule no more?
No. It's gone.
Now, but they were before though, right?
Oh, they were. Oh yeah.
Okay.
They were up until well, when the Queen died, for sure. but I think up until, well, we all know that the Queen died really
Right.
before it was
Right.
announced.
Right.
Right?
So when the Queen died, they broke away from the crown. And with the common law court that is going on right now, Canada's very much involved with that, and taking down the Pope, the royal family, all of that, because of all the Indigenous murders and rapes and everything. And they've proven that it was the Pope and the royal family all in on it together.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were talking about that before she come on, about Prince
Oh, okay.
Andrew being on the Epstein
Yeah.
list,
Yeah.
and how King Charles is giving up his reign to Prince William.
Yeah. But Prince William is not, I don't know if anybody knows this, is not related at all to Prince Charles. He is actually John Carlos of Spain's son. Because Charles did not impregnate Diana, they used the sperm from Juan Carlos of Spain.
What?
And so when King Charles is gone, William has no authority to the British crown. It goes back to Spain, and that's why the Rock of Gibraltar is so important.
You know
I
what?
did not know that.
Know that, but I just seen something tonight that was it was on X, and it was talking about Harry and William, and it says they're not who people think they are.
I
And
never
then
thought so. But I
you
looked
say
at it.
that.
I
And
never thought
Harry's
so.
not even royal. Harry is from somebody
Exactly.
else.
William. Wait,
I knew that about Harry.
Yeah, I've always known about Harry, but I didn't.
I knew about Harry, but I had no idea about William. Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wasn't it said that Harry's dad was like a soccer player or something?
Yeah, I could say his name, but I know who.
I don't remember
dad
his
was.
name, but
He looks right. He looks just like his dad, redhead.
Yes, exactly
and
like him.
yeah, I think people would get it, but I don't want to, because it's never been proven, and,
Right.
and I don't want to say it. So
yeah, folks, like we said, everything is connected, and you've been lied to about everything. And a shameless plug, go watch the Big Picture episode 16 on BitChute, or on YouTube, it's called Season 2, Episode 1, where me and John Leisure talk about the fact that you're being manipulated.
Yep.
All right.
yeah, it was a really good show.
Yeah, it was a good show.
News.
Yep. It was.
I'm having fun.
It has been fun. I mean, it's been exhausting doing all this, but it is fun.
I enjoy it. It's like second nature to me. All right, let's see here. Alaska's snow crab season canceled for second year in a row. A B-1 bomber crashes while trying to land at its base in South Dakota. I did hear that.
I didn't hear about that.
Man struck and killed by SEPTA subway train in Philadelphia. At least 24 injured after 2 New York City subway trains collide. And also in New York and I think New Jersey this week, people said there was earthquakes there, little earthquakes.
They never confirmed it to be earthquakes, but manholes were blowing up off the road.
In Manhattan, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Manhattan, but they never confirmed. They said earthquakes, and then they redacted that.
Yeah.
This episode would take a whole nother turn if we were to talk to you about why we think that's happening. So we're not going to go there. We've touched on it before, but we're not going to go there tonight. Two trains collide in Indonesia, killing at least 3 people. More Epstein files released. North Korea fires 200 artillery shells near Yingpyeong Island. South reportedly orders evacuation. I'll go ahead and let you know that everything that comes out of North Korea right now is all for optics.
Yeah.
All for optics.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why it's happening. Okay.
We've got a lot of troops in South Korea, FYI.
What's that?
We have a lot of troops in South Korea right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yes. And I can say it because it was actually announced on that the real, just like Biden, the who we see on TV as Kim Jong-un or whatever his name is, the rocket
Kim
boy.
Jong-un.
Mm-hmm.
The real one was taken out a long time ago, and it's an actor playing him right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people think we're crazy when we say certain people are
Yep. Already
not
gone.
with us anymore.
Right.
But look it up.
Yep.
Look at
It's
the
out
top.
there.
Compare pictures. That's the best way to do it. Go on the internet and just look up the name and show me a picture of such and such in 2007 or 2011 or all the way up to 2015 even.
Mm-hmm.
And then show me a recent picture. Then compare the pictures.
Yep.
I mean, it's not hard to do.
No. I watched the whole thing on YouTube the other day about how they do all that. Literally, like from like the breast all the way up, how they can just make them look like a completely different person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And the last one for Thursday was second Biden official resigns over Israeli-Hamas war concerns. I don't know who the second Biden official was. I didn't even know about that. So, but that was Thursday. All right, let's go into Friday, and this will be our last one we go to for this evening. First thing, Biden. This was what, yesterday? Yeah. Biden focuses on Trump in speech near Valley Forge. That's because that's all he's got to talk about.
Right.
We can't talk about.
I have some information on that, but I'm not going to share it yet. I'll share it with you later, Jimmy.
Okay. All right, that's cool.
It's not ready to be out yet, but I have the reason why he had to get up there and talk about the insurrection.
Okay, I'll be interested in that conversation. Cool.
Yeah.
Not that Biden he can't talk about his record. He cannot honestly do the question that they like to do during election season. Are you better off now, or were you better off are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
Yeah.
He can't say that
Mm-mm.
at all. At all.
Nope.
Anyway. All right. Trump focuses on getting the country back on track in speeches in Iowa. And if you go look at the speeches that he's done in Iowa, go look at the topics that he's discussing.
He's
Energy independence.
right now in Iowa again.
This is his third one today, isn't it?
Second, I think, today.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he did 2 yesterday, and I think he was supposed to do 2 today, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's done one earlier, and then he's doing one now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure,
And then there was one
if
yesterday.
anybody understands, everybody, that's another thing that people should understand, is when it took me a while to even figure this out, that I stopped listening to a lot of his speeches because I thought, oh, he's just going to say the same thing over and over again. He's always saying the same thing. But everything he says is planned to the letter, and every sentence is a comma.
Yep.
And people have to figure out the commas. Yep. A lot of them are numbers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of numbers. And the last couple, he's been given comms of a certain number a lot.
You know what I saw tonight? He was starting to say something. How did it go? Hold on. Let me think here. He's like, when I become your president, blah, blah, blah. Somebody yelled, but you already are president. He giggled, and then he said, well, that's cute. And he said, some folks just don't understand what you're talking about, or don't understand. He said something to that effect where it's like, what are you trying to tell us there, old DJT?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Are you trying to talk about how some of us believe that he is still commander-in-chief? We just won't go there because that's a whole nother topic too, but go look up Derek Johnson. Go look at his stuff on Telegram. Go look at his stuff on Rumble. And where else is he? I think he's on Facebook too. Derek Johnson. Mm-hmm. Laws and orders and rules. All right. Alaska Airlines flight forced to make an emergency landing after windows blown out in midair.
That was pretty wild. I watched the video on YouTube of that last
I
night.
didn't see that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they put out they put out a warning today. Came right from aviation. It's a warning. I'll send it to you later, or I think I posted it actually on my Facebook. They put out a warning now because of that. Every American Airlines plane, planes, trains. Every American Airlines plane that takes off now is going to have to go through full inspection because this was quite a new plane. It wasn't an old plane. So basically what's happened is they fired so many pilots and so many of the workforce because they refused the vaccines that they're working with unqualified people right now. And that plane, that window blew out. And so now they're saying, what was it, if somebody, if there's on the chat, it's a Boeing 7.
It was a 747.
747 or 37. I'm not sure the number. But
I think I saw on the back of the seat it says 747.
Oh, was it? Okay. Well, they have said that anybody flying with American Airlines now expect that before they take off, they're going to do a complete inspection on every plane, and it's going to take between 4 and 5 hours.
Yeah.
You know what? Looking at the bigger picture on that might not be a bad thing because when you're a cornered animal, you will do anything to get out of that corner. And I do believe the deep state is in a corner. And I wouldn't put it past them to do something with planes.
Mm-hmm. I ain't never been on one, and I ain't never going to get on one.
So be vigilant, folks. Heads on a swivel. All right. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was hospitalized Monday after complications from a medical procedure, the Pentagon said on Friday. The thing was he was in there on January 1st, and they just dropped the information today. Yeah, it's another puppet.
He wasn't mismatch, was he?
No, apparently not.
No. Supreme Court takes up Trump ballot disqualification case. I do have something I want to say about this.
Colorado. Was that for Colorado?
Yeah, that was for Colorado.
And they've already put him back on it, right?
Let me tell you, this is what I want to say about this situation.
Okay.
Trump has never been off the ballot. Okay?
Another distraction.
This is a distraction.
Okay.
And Trump's playing along.
That one.
Trump is playing along with them because that's what he does. Think about his taxes.
Yeah.
How long did he basically troll them into taking his taxes to the Supreme Court? And what ruling came out? It came out that, yes, Congress can see Trump's taxes.
Yeah.
Well, guess what that does? It sets a precedent for later on going after other ex-presidents' taxes, and not just their personal taxes, but their foundations.
Mm-hmm.
Think Epstein, think Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger picture, folks, bigger picture. But anyway, Trump has never been off the ballot because they know, again, they are headlines. And they know that it's unconstitutional what they're doing. And if you know their play, this is what they do, folks. They do it with every agenda they push. They know that things that they do is unconstitutional, but they still do them because they know there's a period of time before it can get to the courts. So they have a short window to try to get everybody on board with what they have pushed that's unconstitutional, so to change the view at the court. That's what they try to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if the court rules against what they were trying to do, they will make up some other little silly rule and try to push that. Like with the ATF trying to make laws about gun control. ATF can't do that.
Right.
No.
Congress is the only one that can make laws.
Exactly.
So Trump's still on the ballot. It's called voter suppression. You know how they try to change the polls where they say, Trump's up 61%, but Biden's, or no, let's just say Trump's up 53%, but Biden's up 56. They try to suppress the vote.
Yeah.
Or a candidate's up by 30 points. So why do I need to go out and vote? He's already down 30 points. What's my vote going to matter?
Yeah.
They're trying to do the same thing with ballots.
That's right.
Where did I leave off at? Judicial Watch files $30 million wrongful death lawsuit against the U.S. government on behalf of Ashley Babbitt's husband. We'll see how that plays out.
Yep.
Ohio governor signs executive order banning gender surgeries for minor. Thank you, governor in Ohio.
No kidding.
God for that.
Banning gender surgeries for minors. Shout out to the Ohio governor for that.
Yep.
It's an executive order. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
NRA chief Wayne LaPierre resigns.
I saw that, but I didn't read into it yet.
Yeah, I think the first thing I've gotten off this is Peekaboo James said she wanted to go after the NRA. Letitia James, the same lady that's going after Trump in New York.
Yeah.
She was going to go after the NRA too.
Oh,
so,
imagine that.
I'm sure that has a connection there.
Yeah.
Three more. Video emerges of Speed Racer actor and two young daughters plane crash in the Caribbean. I saw the actor's name. I can't remember what it is. And it's not even somebody I knew who it was, but an actor and two of his daughters died. Magnitude 4.2 earthquake shakes California. And the last one, New York AG asks Trump to fine Trump $370 million. Yeah, I do know about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the New York AG asks Trump, Letitia James, Peekaboo James, to fine him $370 million and not let him be able to do any real estate work in New York.
She done bumped her head hard.
Some of this is just, it's just so unbelievable. I don't know how people can believe that that would ever happen.
Right.
I mean, even me, that I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm Canadian. I mean, I do like the guy now. I didn't before I like him. But he built New York, for Pete's sake. No work in they're going after anything they can.
I think a lot of this stuff is set up to be ridiculous as hell to get the attention of the people that are not really paying attention to things.
I think so too.
You know, I really do. So, all right. Well, you know what? I've really enjoyed this evening. It was completely not even on my radar to do this, but I'm almost out of coffee. So I think I'm going to wrap up for this evening and just thank April for being on here with me.
Yeah, you're welcome. I enjoyed it.
And my sis Laurel, I appreciate you being here too. Let's have that conversation about Canada. We might do a video. We might need to do a video about that. So, folks that are watching this video, I just seen somebody told me to put this on YouTube, so we'll see how long it takes to download this from my computer. If I can get it done, I'll get it up on a YouTube channel.
This one question, because Martha Irwin says, where was the plane manufactured? I don't know. I don't know if I know it was American Airlines, so maybe if you look up American Airlines and see where they manufactured their plane.
It was a Boeing, obviously, probably Boeing.
Yeah,
but
it would be Boeing. So.
He worked on Boeings.
Seattle. Well,
my husband's sitting here. He says Seattle. He says he's pretty sure it's out of Seattle.
Out of Seattle.
That sounds about right, because that's where my grandfather's from.
Well, I'll just say this, folks. There's a lot going on, and everything is connected. But what I will say this is try your best not to live in fear. And the more you dig and the more you educate yourself on things that you didn't know about, the fear subsides.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yep.
Totally.
It really does. The fear goes away. And then you're just looking at things like, okay, well, is that what they're doing next? I mean, that's why I can put stuff out on my Facebook page and then a year later be like, hey, y'all, see what I said last year?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so educate yourselves, please. Don't
I don't
fall.
call them conspiracy theories no more. They're conspiracy facts.
Yeah, we have the spoiler alerts for you.
Yep.
You know, oh! I just had this thought hit me in the head. You know how we said at the beginning, following 17 was like reading the book before the movie comes out.
Yep.
Okay, so we've read the book. A lot of people are waiting for the movie come out. But what comes out before the movie actually hits the theater?
Oh my God.
Trailers. Spoiler
Trailers.
alerts. Not really spoiler alerts, but somebody will. But trailers. So I don't know what happened to April. She went off.
Oh.
But so anyway, yeah, we're giving out spoiler alerts for you guys. So April, thank you again for being on with us this evening. I know you fell off camera, so thank you. And folks, if you like this format, if you like a kind of a weekend review thing, give me feedback in the comments. Let me know, and it might be something I can do when I've got a Saturday evening and I got nothing else to do. So, but anyway, thank you so much. Go to the Big Picture page on BitChute. BITCHUTE. You can find me and Laurel and Lori there. It's the Big Picture page. If you need a link, just send me a message. I'll send you a link to it. But we also have Bo Benson that posts on the Big Picture page as well. He does a lot of exposing Watchtower. So if you're XJW, I've got both things you can look at, XJW stuff and political stuff that we talk about. So thank you all for watching this evening. Hope you liked it. And Laurel, you got any last thing to say?
Oh, I just want one thing I was going to say for my Canadian friends.
Okay.
As of today, a law was signed into effect that the MAID program is no longer available unless it's terminally ill. Trudeau had signed into legislature that they could do assisted suicide even on Down syndrome people. They could do it if a child was born sick. They could do it on it was even on mentally ill. If somebody was suicidal and wanted to die, they would help them die. It's called the MAID program. And as of today, the law has been thrown out, and they will still assist with suicide, but only in certain cases. If you're terminal and you're you're going to die anyway, and you request help, like people with really bad, painful diseases.
Wow.
But they were killing. He had it passed into law that they could. That's how communist Canada has gone. That they could even kill children. That if a child was born with Down syndrome, the parents could request that the child be put to death.
Folks, wow. If you haven't watched the movie The Giver, I think it came out in 2014, The Giver, go watch that, because there are scenes in that movie that describe exactly what Laurel just said that they wanted to do to kids. Go watch the movie The Giver. Laurel, thanks for that update. I appreciate that. I enjoyed this. This has been kind of fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Even though I don't have makeup on, and well.
Well, it all worked out. I think we gave a lot. I think we gave the folks something to look up a lot, gave him a lot of information. Hopefully gave you something to think about. And the giver, Jimmy, recommends watching. Okay. Oh, and April said that her phone died. That's why she just abruptly was off camera. So
okay.
Anyway, Laura,
It's nice talking with you, April.
good talking to you too. Good night, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful evening. And we are sending you much love, peace, joy, hope, all that good stuff. And all I can say is, it's going to be an amazing year.
No fear. There is nothing to be afraid of.
Yes.
Don't ever give in to fear. Nothing to be afraid of.
Yes, absolutely. And on that note, we bid you all a good night. Take care, everyone.
Good night, everybody.